英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
Prime Minister Takaichi has instructed the Liberal Democratic Party to reduce the number of House of Representatives seats by 45, solely from proportional representation. This decision faces opposition within the LDP and from opposition parties who argue that cutting only proportional seats benefits the ruling party. This move follows a request from the Japan Innovation Party.
JR East announced finding 20 signal system defects at 18 stations during an emergency inspection. This followed last year's train collision on the Tokyu-Den-en-Toshi line, prompting nationwide checks. JR East inspected 899 stations. All defects have been addressed, and no accidents have occurred so far, ensuring safe train operations.
The Japan Meteorological Agency announced on the morning of June 4th that northern Kyushu, the Chugoku region, and the Kinki region have likely entered the rainy season. This is due to a weather front and moist air bringing rain and cloudy conditions to western Japan. The agency also warns of highly unstable atmospheric conditions in Kyushu on June 5th.
Major electronics retailers Yamada Holdings and Edeon are reportedly discussing a business merger. If successful, this integration would create a group with annual sales of around 2.5 trillion yen. The move aims to strengthen their position amidst increasing competition, particularly from online retail businesses.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un inspected a new nuclear material production factory. He claimed the country's nuclear weapons material production capacity has more than doubled in the past 5 years. This comes as the South Korean military monitors Kim's activities, including his inspection of other related facilities.
Mie Prefecture plans to submit an ordinance bill to its assembly to prevent customer harassment. The proposed bill includes penalties, such as fines up to 500,000 yen. If passed, it would be Japan's first such ordinance with punitive measures, aiming for implementation by April 1st next year.
Dodgers' Shohei Ohtani secured his 6th win of the season, pitching 6 scoreless innings as a two-way player against the Diamondbacks. He also contributed offensively, hitting 3 singles. Ohtani's strong performance in both pitching and batting helped extend his team's winning streak.
Saga Prefectural Police Chief Hideyuki Fukuda apologized after a national investigation found nearly 40% of DNA analyses by a former forensics lab employee were improper. The employee, Tomohiro Tominaga, allegedly faked analyses and lost samples. The total number of improper analyses increased to 239 out of 632 conducted.
A bear that attacked 4 people in Fukushima City escaped from a factory where it was contained. Authorities believe the bear opened a window lock by itself around 10:45 p.m. on June 3rd, evading a hunter's encirclement. Police and local officials continue to search for the bear in the residential area.
次は社会のニュースです。
A bear that injured 4 people in Fukushima City left the premises of a nearby business facility on June 3rd night. Authorities believe the bear may have opened a window lock to escape. The city and police are continuing their vigilance in the area, advising residents to remain cautious and report any sightings.
Saga Prefectural Police Chief apologized for DNA testing fraud. A special inspection found nearly 40% of DNA tests by a former staff member were improper. The former specialist, Tominaga, falsified 239 DNA tests from 2017 to 2024. He was dismissed and indicted. The police chief promised strict measures to prevent recurrence.
In Hiroshima, the process of adding names to the atomic bomb victims list has started. This list includes atomic bomb survivors who passed away in the last year. It will be placed in the cenotaph during the Peace Memorial ceremony on August 6th. 14 people from the public also observed the inscription work.
Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum plans to update its exhibition by 2026. A proposal suggests describing the former Japanese military's actions as aggression in panels explaining the events leading to the bombing. The Nanjing incident description will change from massacre to Nanjing incident, where numerous civilians and prisoners of war were killed.
A woman in her 70s will be referred to prosecutors for gross negligence causing death. In June 2024, during a protest against a U.S. military base in Okinawa, she and a security guard were hit by a dump truck. The guard died, and the woman was injured. She reportedly tried to cross in front of the truck.
The supplementary budget bill began deliberation on June 3rd and is expected to pass in an unusually fast 3 days. Prime Minister Takeichi rejected opposition parties' requests for amendments, prioritizing early passage. This swift approval aims to secure time for other key bills. The last time a budget passed this quickly was 10 years ago.
Hyogo Prefectural Police identified a body found in a Tatsuno City river on June 3rd as Kenji Oyama, the suspect in the May mother-daughter murder. The cause of death is unknown. Police will refer the case to prosecutors with the suspect deceased. Blood-stained items were found in Oyama's vacant family home next to the victim's house.
Prime Minister Takeichi instructed the LDP to reduce House of Representatives seats by 45, solely from the proportional representation system. This aligns with Nippon Ishin no Kai's request. However, there is opposition within the LDP and from other opposition parties who argue that cutting only proportional seats would unfairly benefit the ruling coalition.
A working group began discussing a 2-year consumption tax cut on food items. The government stated a 1% reduction could be implemented in about 6 months. The most likely plan is a 1% cut starting April next year, with Prime Minister Takeichi making a final decision this month. A 0% cut would require about a year to implement.
Mie Prefecture will submit an ordinance bill to the Prefectural Assembly to prevent customer harassment, known as kashuhara. This bill includes penalties of up to 500,000 yen. If approved, it would be the first such ordinance nationwide, aiming to take effect on April 1st of next year.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Yamada HD and Edeon, major home electronics retailers, plan to integrate. This creates a giant alliance with combined sales of about 2.5 trillion yen. They are considering a holding company. The integration aims to strengthen product development and improve management efficiency, addressing market shrinkage. A formal announcement is expected on June 5th.
BOJ Governor Kazuo Ueda on June 3rd showed a positive stance on raising interest rates. He indicated discussions are necessary if inflation risks increase, suggesting early action. Ueda stated that if core inflation moves towards 2%, the BOJ would hike rates appropriately. He stressed vigilance regarding crude oil prices impacting underlying inflation.
LDP Secretary General Suzuki announced Prime Minister Takeichi's instruction regarding House of Representatives seat reduction. The Prime Minister directed the party to focus on reducing seats only from the proportional representation system, aiming for a 10% cut. The goal is to achieve this in the current Diet session.
LDP Policy Research Council Chairman Kobayashi aims to achieve a consumption tax cut on food items. He will closely monitor discussions at the bipartisan National Council. This includes addressing challenges like the time needed for cash register system modifications, ensuring a practical approach to the tax reduction.
The Nikkei 225 average fell on June 4th, closing 931 yen, lower at 67,470 yen, after briefly dropping over 1,400 yen. This followed a U.S. market downturn due to renewed U.S.-Iran fighting in the Middle East. Rising crude oil prices also contributed to the stock market's decline.
The House of Representatives Constitutional Review Committee discussed national referendums. The LDP plans to submit an amendment bill to the National Referendum Act this Diet session, aiming to improve voting conditions. Meanwhile, the Centrist Reform Alliance proposed, including discussions on advertising regulations in the review.
Ayaka Nomura, eldest daughter of Yoshiaki Murakami, who led the former Murakami Fund, is now a major shareholder in TV Asahi Holdings. She holds 1.86% of the company's shares. This was disclosed in the shareholder meeting notice on June 4th. Nomura is the 8th largest shareholder, including trust accounts.
Space company SpaceX announced on June 3rd an IPO price of $135 per share. It plans to sell 555.55 million shares, aiming to raise about $75 billion, 12 trillion yen. This would be the largest IPO. CEO Elon Musk will retain 80% voting rights. The Nasdaq listing is expected around June 12.
Preparation for mass production at TSMC's second plant in Kumamoto is accelerating. This indicates significant progress in establishing the new facility and ramping up its operational readiness. The expedited timeline suggests a strong push for future semiconductor manufacturing at the site, contributing to local economic activity.
Prime Minister Takeichi is arranging a summit meeting with Prime Minister Modi in an Indian regional city in early July. The visit aims to establish regular mutual exchanges between the leaders. This initiative seeks to further strengthen the bilateral relations between Japan and India.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Shohei Ohtani delivered a strong two-way performance for the Dodgers. He pitched 6 scoreless innings, earning his 6th win. At bat, he went 3 for 4 with 2 walks, boosting his batting average to .301. His impressive ERA stands at 0.74. The Dodgers secured their 40th victory.
Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs hit his 8th home run during a game against the Athletics. However, his team suffered a close defeat in extra innings. This loss extends the Cubs' losing streak to 3 games, despite Suzuki's offensive contribution.
Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox has been named the American League Rookie of the Month for May. He is the 9th Japanese player to receive this honor. The last Japanese player to win this award was Shota Imanaga of the Cubs 2 years ago.
Japan's national soccer team has started its pre-World Cup training camp in Monterrey, Mexico. The team is preparing for the upcoming North and Central American World Cup. On the first day, players completed light exercises with smiles, despite the warm weather conditions.
In Japanese professional baseball, the Giants secured their 2nd consecutive win. Pinch hitter Yoshihiro Maru hit a decisive grand slam, turning the game around. Meanwhile, the SoftBank Hawks also achieved a comeback victory, extending their impressive winning streak to 6 games.
The Netherlands, Japan's opponent in the upcoming North and Central American World Cup, played a warm-up match against Algeria. The Dutch team lost the game with a score of 0-1. The World Cup is set to kick off next week on June 11th.
Ohio State University in the U.S. has reached a settlement to pay about 16 billion yen, or $100 million, to 279 former students. These students reported sexual abuse by a university-employed doctor who worked there from 1978 to 1998. The university issued an apology.
Japan's national soccer team captain Wataru Endo missed the first full training session at their Monterrey World Cup pre-camp. A Japan Football Association spokesperson stated he is adjusting at the hotel due to left ankle discomfort from a previous match. He is focusing on conditioning for the World Cup.
Japan men's volleyball captain Yuki Ishikawa issued a statement regarding teammate Shunichiro Sato's arrest on drug charges. Ishikawa expressed that he takes the matter very seriously. He vowed to rebuild trust and create a team that fans can support again, aiming for the 2026 Asian Championship and 2028 Los Angeles Olympics.
10 days before the World Cup, public school teachers in Mexico City held a large protest demanding better working conditions. They threatened to disrupt the World Cup if demands are not met. Some protesters became violent, damaging cars with metal pipes, causing temporary chaos in the city center.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
Israel and Lebanon have re-agreed to a ceasefire, announced by the U.S. on June 3rd. The deal requires Hezbollah to stop attacks and withdraw fighters from southern Lebanon. A pilot zone under Lebanese army control will be established. Both nations will continue direct talks for a comprehensive agreement, with political discussions set to resume later this month.
An Iranian attack on Kuwait International Airport and civilian facilities on June 3 killed 1 person and injured 63. The airport's Terminal 1 was severely damaged. Bahrain intercepted Iranian missiles and drones. The U.S. attacked Iran's Keshem Island in response. Iran accused Kuwait and Bahrain of aiding U.S. operations.
June 4 marks 37 years since China's Tiananmen Square incident. Authorities are suppressing commemoration, banning family visits to graves. The government aims to erase this negative memory to maintain one-party rule. Tiananmen Square in Beijing is heavily policed. Victims' families express anger over the repression.
A UN university report warns that the global expansion of AI is rapidly increasing data center construction. This trend could double electricity and water consumption by 2030. The report highlights potential significant environmental impacts due to these rising resource demands. Urgent attention is needed to manage these consequences.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un inspected new nuclear material production facilities. He claimed the nation's capacity to produce nuclear materials for weapons has more than doubled in the past 5 years. This visit underlines North Korea's ongoing efforts to boost its nuclear arsenal, raising international concerns about regional stability.
U.S. Secretary of State Rubio announced that President Trump will attend the NATO summit in Turkey in July. Secretary Rubio expressed dissatisfaction with European countries' responses to the Iran situation. The summit is expected to include discussions on the future of alliance relations, reflecting ongoing geopolitical tensions and security concerns.
Elon Musk's SpaceX has filed for an initial public offering with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The company plans to raise approximately 12 trillion Japanese yen, or about 77 billion US dollars. This is projected to be one of history's largest IPOs, funding SpaceX's ambitious projects in space and satellite internet.
China has imposed a 1-year entry ban on 4 New Zealand lawmakers. This sanction, reported June 4th, follows their recent visit to Taiwan. The move highlights China's strong opposition to foreign officials engaging with Taiwan, which Beijing considers its territory, and is expected to strain diplomatic relations.
President Trump told aides he would maintain the ceasefire with Iran unless U.S. soldiers are killed, the Wall Street Journal reported. Despite an April 8th ceasefire, attacks continue, causing deaths in Kuwait. Trump is reportedly reluctant to restart full combat, possibly tolerating minor clashes, emphasizing that talks are ongoing.
South Korea's ruling Democratic Party won 12 of 16 major races in unified local elections on June 3rd. This outcome is viewed as an approval of President Lee Jae-myung's administration, despite the party losing the capital, Seoul. The conservative opposition secured 4 areas. Good Japan-South Korea relations are expected to continue.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
NHK announced its early 2028 morning drama, Hon no Mokichi. Actress Yumi Kawai, 25, will play the heroine. Kankuro Kudo, known for Amakan, is the scriptwriter, marking his first morning drama in 15 years. The series will portray poet Mokichi Saito and his wife Teruko, depicting the most estranged couple in morning drama history. Kawai expressed her strong determination.
Yoshitaka Hara of Time Les attended the Volleyball Nations League 2026 opening ceremony. During a first pitch event, Japan men's captain Yuki Ishikawa's attack ball accidentally hit Hara directly, causing him to fall. Hara, a former volleyball player, laughed it off, calling it the best first pitch ceremony. He considered it an honor, despite Ishikawa's apology for the unexpected incident.
The government announced a completion ceremony for Shuri Castle's main hall in Naha on November 22nd. The hall was destroyed by fire in 2019, with restoration beginning in November 2022. Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara called Shuri Castle an extremely important building, a source of pride for Japan. The main hall's restoration cost is approximately 12 billion yen. Restoration of the north and south halls will follow.
Yoshinori Imai, former vice president of NHK, has passed away at the age of 81. His death was reported on June 4th. Imai had a significant career within the public broadcasting organization. Further details regarding his passing were not immediately available.
The popular game Touken Ranbu Online will be adapted into a no Kyogen performance. The first installment, Ayakumo Hen, will be staged in Tokyo and Kyoto from July to September. No actor Yuichi Otsuki and Kyogen actor Hiroki Nomura will star, with Kyogen master Mansai Nomura supervising. New illustrations by famous manga artists for the project are also generating excitement among fans.
An exhibition on Tokushima Prefecture's previous hall plan was cancelled at the prefecture's request just before opening. The venue was on prefectural land, and authorities feared misunderstanding as a message from the prefecture. Architect Yunya Ishigami, who designed the old plan and organized the exhibition, criticized the cancellation as trampling on freedom of expression, raising concerns about censorship.
Actor Kotaro Yoshida, 67, received the Best Father Award in the entertainment category on June 3rd. He was recognized for his acting and happily handling household chores. As the oldest recipient, he joked about being a best grandfather. Yoshida also shared his challenging experience with one-parent childcare, expressing deep gratitude to his wife for her support.
Princess Tenko made a surprising announcement for the Yatsui Festival 2026 music event scheduled for June 20th and 21st. She stated her intention to bring a 4-meter, 280-kilogram white lion to the festival. Tenko claimed she is seriously applying to the government for permission. Festival organizer Ichiro Yatsui expressed his astonishment at her bold and unexpected proposal.
Saya from comedy duo LAND was chosen for a voice acting role in the Netflix film The Ribbon Hero. However, her trailer performance received mixed reviews, with some calling it monotone and unsuitable. This sparked controversy as past comments by Saya, where she ridiculed otaku culture on YouTube, have resurfaced, fueling criticism from anime fans.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。